Have you seen this Belle of the Barn yet about the Columbia River Treaty? Isn't that fucking awesome? I mean, like, this is what I'm talking about. That one fucking river produces 40% of the hydroelectric generated electricity in the whole country. But Jeff, there's fucking rivers all over this country, right? We got dams on all of them. Yeah, but you all don't know about the you're not fucking geologists, you're not geographers, you're not politicians, right? Everybody votes like they're fucking geniuses and everything, right? Why would you need to know anything about the Columbia River and its magnitude and right? Unless you grew up in the Pacific Northwest, who the fuck cares, right? If you grew up in the PNW, sure, it's a giant river, you gotta know about it, right? There's all kinds of dams on it, huge, massive infrastructure projects. You can't not know about this thing. But if you're from Tennessee, or oh yeah, right. If you're from the, I don't know where the fuck all of it runs through. I'm assuming it's all in Tennessee, given that it's the Tennessee Valley Authority, or right. You know about the importance and the specials and blah 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 features of that area and whatnot. And you know, people always think that the Mississippi is such a mighty river and whatnot. It's not. It's a fucking creek that just happens to make it all the way across our country, right? It's a very tiny river. It's only not inconsequential because it's a creek that is controllable enough to move freight. So it's a slow shipping lane. The Columbia, on the other hand, is a big fucking river that moves an enormous volume of water that creates 40% of all of the hydroelectric generated power in the country. In a country that has a lot of fucking dams and several rivers. It's a big fucking important thing. Here's the rub. Do you know where the Columbia River starts and who controls how the Columbia River is used through their series of dams? Oh, that's right. It's our friendly next door neighbor, Canada. Oh, no, wait. I forgot. We shit in that paper bag, we lit it on fire, and we threw it on their front door, and then pointed and laughed. And now, we've got the Columbia River Treaty coming up for renegotiation or whatever. I think it's hilarious that people take so lightly these things that they know nothing about, right? But yet they do it in a way of, because they do it accidentally by just automatically assuming they're experts in everything, right? Because I'm like, this is going to be crushing. You know, there are huge hydroelectric projects on the Columbia River in the United States. It's like either like 9 or 11 dams or something. Many people work at them. One of my brothers works at them. We know people who work at that. You know, I have friends and their spouses that work at these places. And now you're just pissing off the people who are going to ultimately control the fate of what happens with this highly important resource to us. But not only that, but I mean, we had dedicated a lot of resources to that piece of infrastructure. That's all I want to be able to call it, because that's how I think of resources in that way. But like, it is a significant piece of infrastructure that you're essentially throwing away, all by just pissing off your neighbor for no reason. I'm sorry, maybe there is a reason. I forgot. There's got to be some reason he's doing it. Let's hope. But it seems foolish to me. And then I just want to ask my brother, right? Is this what you wanted? I mean, like, I hope not, right? I mean, the Columbia River is a hugely important part of my history. I can't believe that this is a thing that could happen. Right? It's one of those things where, again, I'm going to start lumping so many things under the category of, it's 2025, how the fuck is this happening? Right? I mean, I think that's what people need to start saying to just get themselves riled up a little bit, because it's like, how have we not fixed this shit yet? Right? I think it's time for one last bus ride, right? Like, let's end this fucking nonsense of archaic thinking and lack of scientific importance. We can't think that way anymore. We have got to get out of this fucking mysticism and theology and religion, and for a different time. I mean, I love spirituality. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll talk for hours on the importance of spirituality, right? But when you have religious and theological thinking, right? Theological is an oxymoron. There is no logic applied to deities. Shit, I'm forgetting how to break that word down, right? Because a theist is just a worshiper of God, right? But yeah, well, no, don't worry about it. But yeah, we've got to get rid of this, because I mean, like, there's too many important. You can't fuck around with big important pieces of infrastructure like this on the whim of people voting for nonsensical reasons, right? This is a nonsense that has to stop. Our species and our populations have to stop kidding ourselves about how democracy works, and we're going to start putting out some more information on how people should be recognizing their place in the world and how actual democracy works. It has nothing to do with a paper ballot, and we're going to fix this soon as a species, because this is too much. There's way too much involved. The village has put way too many bricks into this project, right? In reference to this Columbia River issue I'm bringing up, right? But that's just one, right? Into high-speed rail, heavy rail, massive ports, right? The big projects, right? Our species has put too many bricks into these important projects for the nonsensical, frightened lizard brain. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's where those right-wingers, the wacky Reds, get their lizard people conspiracies from, right? Do you think it's because they don't understand when scientists are talking about lizard brain? That they don't. Oh my God, yeah. Well, there's a walnut to crack open and go into deeper later. But anyway, we've got to stop this thinking, because it's dangerous to us at this point. It's always been dangerous to us. I mean, the Inquisition, right? The Crusades. When has it not been dangerous to us, right? But now we've got some big important projects that tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of people rely on these infrastructure projects for whatever reason. It's not always hydroelectric. Sometimes it's freeways. Sometimes it's bridges. You need a bridge to get from this place to this place. Otherwise, massive commerce and education and benefits can't take place between different regions and whatnot. China's always building big dams that affect whole regions, and big bridges, and Europe is coming together for these big infrastructure projects of different various energy and defense and all kinds of things, right? The villages are putting too many bricks into these important projects that have to stop getting interrupted for these stupid, petty things. And that's all I've got to say on this for right now, because I'm just a little too freaked out to find out that, like, everything I knew about growing up, right? The Columbia River, this big, powerful thing that generates all this electricity on these big, massive dams that are huge, important structures to be talked about and to be awed as wonders and marvels of what humans can accomplish. You believe we did this in that valley, and we held back that river, and we did what? Right? I mean, we should only be celebrating these things, and here now we've got petty bitch squabbles going on to where we threaten and risk undoing these massive infrastructure projects and seeing them hurt or harmed, or abandoned and made moot. Ugh. We're gonna fix this shit. We're gonna get better.